All right, so let's dive into something
Okay.
that really did shake things up in San Francisco recently. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, a 3.7 magnitude earthquake.
Yeah.
I know that even just like a little tremor
Hmm.
can be
Mm-hmm.
unsettling for people, so we're here to like break down
Yeah.
what happened and like what it means for us living in San Francisco.
Absolutely. And I think, a 3.7 magnitude earthquake
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a lot,
Right.
but it's definitely enough to get people's attention,
Yeah.
especially being centered right here in San Francisco.
Right in the city.
You're going to feel that a lot more strongly than someone out in, say, like the suburbs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
The article that I shared with you did mention that people felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, like, what would that actually have felt like to somebody in the city?
So, I think a good way to describe it is kind of like a sudden jolt.
Okay.
Almost as if like a huge truck rumbled past your house.
Okay.
Or maybe like a gentle swaying sensation, depending on, how close you were to the epicenter,
Right.
what kind of building you're in.
Yeah.
But definitely enough to kind of make you look around
Yeah.
and go, what was that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely not something you can ignore.
Yeah.
This is kind of reminding me
Mm-hmm.
of that 4.2 magnitude quake
Yeah.
back in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one rattled some dishes in my neighborhood.
Right.
I'm curious, like, how does this 3.7 compare to other recent quakes?
That's a great question. So the 4.2 that you mentioned
Yeah.
was definitely stronger.
Yeah.
And we did see some reports of minor damage
Okay.
from that earthquake.
Yeah.
This recent 3.7, thankfully,
Yeah.
seems to have passed without any significant issues.
Yeah.
But it is a really good reminder
Mm.
that we live in a seismically active zone,
Yeah.
and that's because of the San Andreas Fault.
The San Andreas Fault. Yeah, it's always just kind of looming out there,
Okay?
right?
Very present.
Can you just remind us what's going on with those tectonic plates
Yeah.
and why that causes these tremors?
So it's kind of like this, imagine a giant jigsaw puzzle
Okay.
under our feet.
Okay.
But the pieces don't quite fit, and they're constantly moving.
Okay.
And the San Andreas Fault is where the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate grind
Yeah.
against each other.
Yeah.
All that friction builds up energy,
Uh-huh.
and then when it finally releases,
Yeah.
that's when we feel it as an earthquake.
Okay, and so the location of that release,
Mm-hmm.
the depth, all that stuff plays a role in how we experience the earthquake at the surface, right?
Exactly.
Mm.
So the USGS data
Yeah.
shows that this recent earthquake originated at a depth of about 5 kilometers,
Okay.
which is relatively shallow.
Okay.
So that's why people felt it more intensely, even though the magnitude wasn't that high.
Okay, so now I know this might be like a, looking into a crystal ball type question.
Yeah.
But given all this activity,
Mhm.
are we likely to see more earthquakes in the near future?
It's impossible to predict earthquakes
Yeah.
with pinpoint accuracy,
Right.
but what we do know is that the Bay Area is prone to them.
Yeah.
The San Andreas Fault is always active,
Uh-huh.
while most earthquakes will be minor,
Yeah.
like this recent one.
Right.
The potential for a larger,
Yeah.
more significant earthquake is always there.
So what does all this mean for somebody like our listener living right here in San Francisco?
I think it really underscores the importance of being prepared.
Okay.
And it's not about living in fear.
Right.
It's about taking practical steps to stay safe.
Yeah.
Things like securing heavy objects that could fall,
Yeah.
having an emergency kit ready,
Okay.
and knowing how to drop cover and hold on
Right.
during an earthquake.
Yeah, those are good reminders.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about your own home,
Yeah.
like what are some of those heavy objects that you might need to secure?
Oh, yeah.
And have you ever had to practice that drop cover and hold on
Absolutely.
during an earthquake?
Mm.
Yeah, something to think about.
And information is key.
Yeah?
Familiarize yourself with resources
Yeah.
from the USGS and local authorities.
Right.
They have detailed guides
Right.
on earthquake preparedness specific to our region.
Okay, this has been so insightful.
Right.
I think even a minor earthquake like this 3.7,
Yeah.
it serves as kind of a wake-up call,
Yeah.
and it makes you wonder what other natural phenomena
Right.
specific to where we live
Yeah.
might we need to understand better.
That's a great question.
Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to staying safe.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.